You have had the opportunity to see both sides of the coin, civilian life and the discipline life, and you have observed so much of in international ups and downs in politics, conflicts, negotiations. I'm sure you are a very hopeful person. My question is, United States is backing Israel to control the entire Middle East. Would it be possible practically, technically, logically, because Middle East countries are also growing up, they are developing themselves, they are developing their military capability, and they are also becoming united in some aspects. They have the divisions, but they are thinking Israel is a number one threat.
Who are they you are talking about? You see, everyone is not thinking that Israel is number one threat, you see. Qatar doesn't think Israel is number one threat. Saudi Arabia doesn't think Israel is number. They are in close collaboration. Egypt and Jordan has signed, and you know how the other day how Jordan intercepted half of the missiles that were launched by Israel. They did not intercept the Israeli aircraft when they went to attack Qatar or Iran. Yes, Iran. They did not. So, you see the friends and who is friends and enemies are always changing, you see, always changing. It's all how you see your national interest. At this stage in the United States, you see, there was a time United States was not backing Israel in 1956 war. I mean, these are all part of the history. When Britain and France together attacked Egypt on the Suez Canal issue, and the Israel came down and occupied the whole of Sinai, it was the Americans who forced them, the British and the French, to withdraw and the Israelis to withdraw. So things change, you see. So if the peace is restored, and as we hope that if Israel and Palestine can live peacefully, and just peace, Palestine is established that can live as a sovereign states and have a constitutional government, functioning government, then the whole issue is diluted and something else can happen. Like you see, Trump is saying that I will rebuild Gaza. I mean, if really he wants to, like the way Americans did after the Second World War, the rebuilding of the Western Europe. Similarly, if Gaza is a very small strip, you see, and if the Saudis also put in and chip in, and the Kuwaitis chip in, why not? It can be rebuilt. And if the threat of conflict between Palestinians and Israelis can be reduced or eliminated, and a peaceful border can be redrawn, which is very difficult at this moment, but things can always change. Netanyahu is not going to be in power all the time, and if Hamas also, you see, renounce their use of force and comes to negotiating table, things can happen. Things can happen, and we may then end up with a peaceful Middle East. That's what everybody wants.
Right, sir. Sir, you served in the Bangladesh Air Force as one of the top officials. Sir, what is the reason behind this agreement? Because Chinese jets are not worldwide accepted very well.
No, this last sentence I do not agree, because right now China is really, they have outpaced many of the European powers, and they are now competing with the Americans, especially in the aerospace domain. And you see, in Bangladesh, Air Force was in need of a modern fighters for a long time. Our mainstay of our Air Force is Chinese F-7, which we have been operating since early 80s, and but the original design is about half a century old MiG-21s. But it is true that the one we are operating is very modern, and but the question is that it's not as, I mean, you've got to have an aircraft which can go and fight and come back, okay? It's not that type of modern aircraft. So also the important fact is that the Chinese have stopped producing this aircraft anymore. So you see, aircraft has a shelf life, 10 years, 15 years. After that you have to throw it away. You get a new aircraft. So if that aircraft is not being produced, so we cannot procure any more F-7. So we have to go for something new, and this is the aircraft that has been offered. And I'm sure you see what happened in between. Last we got was the modern aircraft we got in the sometime 1997 or 98. We got the some MiG-29s, and after that, you know, there was plan of bringing more, but then the COVID situation came up, the economy was slow, and we did not, Air Force did not get the type of, you know, sanction that we need, financial sanction. So now that it has long overdue, and it has come in the newspapers that we are going to get this aircraft, which is the one available. In the past, we have evaluated Rafales and, you know, French, SAB Draken, Sweden, also the Eurofighters, but those were even far beyond our means.
Right,
now,
sir.
this is something that we can manage, and as it has come in the newspapers that we are not going to pay in one day. We are going to pay in 10 years time,
Yes, sir.
in installments, and the price of the this $2 billion is about $1 billion is the price of the aircraft, but another $1 billion is that you have to train the people, pilots, technicians, and maintenance, and also the armaments. An aircraft without armament is of no use, so you have to do that. So if we want to have an air force flying and, you know, capable air force, then we need to have capable airframe.
Right, sir.
So this is the I think this has been a long overdue,
Right,
and
sir.
as an Air Force man, I am happy.
Drone has become the modern equipments in modern warfare. It has saved a lot of money, and human-less drones are very popular among the countries who needs to secure their borders and to supervise or look after their enemies. Sir, I said before the break that one of the US generals advised me, why don't you talk about the purchasing drones and drones capability to protect your borders, to protect your blue economy, and to supervise or supersede the enemies. I could not answer him.
No, why? Because it has already come in our newspapers. We just day before yesterday, the Turkish Deputy Foreign Minister, she was here in our country, and we have signed a or at least an understanding that we are going to have the drone production in Bangladesh. We already have the procured drones from Turkey, and all drones are not combat, you know, and all drones are not very expensive. There are various types of drones, from, you know, something which you can make in Bangladesh also, you see. So some are for photography, some are for intelligence gathering, or some are for, you know, long range attack and all. So whatever, we are already on that path. But remember that just like, you know, you don't have to have war cannot be fought by army alone, the war cannot be fought by navy alone, air cannot be fought by. Similarly, within the air force also, within the air defense also, there are so many organizations, and each one is important. You have the ground based radar, you have the airborne radar, and you have the manned aircraft, and you also have an unmanned drone. So totality, you know, you have to, if you have one you know, element not there, then there will be a gap which the enemy will utilize. So Bangladesh, you can always safely tell the general that yes, we are on track, and we have already we have the drones in this country, and they are being used for, you know, because you might have seen that Hilsa protection, the drones are being used to safeguard. That's what the blue economy is.
Yes.
That we are sending our drones and getting the pictures of anybody violating the fishing ban. So there will be more and more use of it, you know, to gather about, say, floods, cyclones. You see, you don't have to fly a huge aircraft to see what has happened. You send a drone and get the latest.
That General Allen advised that Bangladesh needs defensive air force, which should be complete, comprehensive, conclusive, constructive, and competitive. As an expert on this issue, what do you think?
You see, not only Air Force, all three services, we believe in deterrence. What is deterrence means? You don't have to go, we have no ambition of attacking anybody, but if any country ventures, and we have only two neighbors here, ventures to attack Bangladesh, we should be able to inflict such casualties which will make the war and not an option for the enemy. So that much so you don't have to have a huge air force. We have to have a effective, I see about 3 to 4 squadrons and about 2 air bases which are dedicated to air force. Similarly, we should have an army which is mobile, which is which has got all its components. And the navy, you see, is by the grace of God is growing up, you see, and it has got the submarines, it has got frigates, it has got helicopters, it has got, as we call it, So I think
you prefer the development.
Yeah, we are spending about less than 2% of our GDP for defense, and that's good enough. We have been spending for the last many years.
Right,
but
sir.